Hey family, welcome to and welcome back. I'm so Veronica and I'm so ready to remind you to sow into your future. So here on today's episode of Sow into Your Future, I'm going to be making my homemade pork chops. Yes, that's it, honey. I might try to throw some sides together, but I might not. I might just want a fried pork chop. Anyway, so as you can see, they're still in the package and the package was in the refrigerator. And that's because I should have cooked it last night, but I got tired. My husband said he was going to eat out. So I said, well, and y'all see how dark that oil is. That's that oil. That's that oil. Anyway, that oil that has, it kind of smell like fish grease, but you're cooking pork. Anyway, I would not want to eat at a restaurant that does things the way that I do things. But since I'm at home and I know this works and it tastes good, I'm going to keep doing it how I do it. So I just cracked one egg to make the seasonings and the flour adhere to the meat. Does anybody else do that with pork? Anytime y'all fry anything, that's the flour that's reusable too. Anytime y'all fry anything, do y'all put an egg on it to get it to stick to it? Anyway, so I'm adding some extra flour. And since you're going to add some extra flour, you got to put some extra seasoning in there. And now at the end, you'll see me sift through the flour because you don't want to keep reusing your flour without sifting it. Anyway. So now I'm just mixing it, rubbing all that meat through so that seasoning ain't just on 4 pork chops. You want seasoning on all of the pork chops, evenly distributed as best as possible. And now to make sure, I'm just using a regular fork, to make sure that the seasonings get down and through there. Because that's what's wrong with a lot of people's cooking. The seasoning don't get down and through there. So then when you bite into the meat, the inside of the meat is flavorless. And it's like, you just literally want to eat the outside of the pork chop and give the rest to the dog. Anyway, so I'm not stabbing it. I am penetrating the meat. Jesus have mercy. So now I'm putting the flour on the meat. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure that you turn that pork chop every which way so that flour falls in the crevices. Because if the flour ain't falling in the crevices, it's not going to be as crispy and crunchy as it could be. Now, as you notice, I was letting that grease heat up. That's the problem with some people. They don't let the grease heat up, and then the pork chop don't get that crispy breading. So you want to keep turning it. It's better that you turn it too much than not enough because it's sitting. Now I'm sifting that meat, that flour I was telling you about. Because if the pork chop sits in one spot for too long, that spot is drying out. And if you turn it frequently, it's still hot on both sides when you serve it. It makes sense to me. Anyway, so so the reason why I don't really add sides to it is because in this family, some people like this, some people don't like that. Some people can't have corn, some people only like corn. And it's just too much, honey. I remember when I was younger and my sister was making breakfast and she was cooking pancakes for some, waffles for the other, oatmeal for one. And she just had a whole smorgasbord of stuff going at one time. And I'm like, girl, honey, pick a dish and make them sit down and eat it. Y'all don't like X, Y, and Z? Well, I ain't cooking nothing. Anyway, so I'm putting that flour right back in there, honey. We're going to use that again another day, another way. So now I'm just turning and cleaning up as I go, cleaning up behind myself. My mother used to teach us, you want to make it look like ain't nobody been in the kitchen after you get done cooking. Okay. Okay. So yeah, these are some really good pork chops. And I'm not sure what part of the pork chop this is because it ain't the normal pork chop, but it's still it's tender. Tender. Thanks for watching.